Okay, welcome to tonight's broadcast of Cienega High School football. They're taking on the Mountain View Mountain Lions as captains meet at midfield. Captains tonight for Mountain View, the Mountain Lions, coming in with a 3-1 record. Number 2, Bryce Coleman, the senior running back and cornerback. Number 8, their quarterback, Justice Somerset, senior quarterback. Number 25, Ricky Marisagan, and number 50, Jake Darrow, senior outside linebacker, or offensive lineman and middle linebacker. For the Cats tonight, their captains, number 3, the senior wide receiver Tristan Jury. Number 17, their excellent place kicker Jacob Meeker Hackett. Number 33, senior linebacker, running back, captain Will Walker. And number 78, the junior offensive and defensive lineman Bryce Fontana. The Bobcats will be receiving the football here tonight to start things off. Looking at the uniforms here, the Mountain Lions coming in with the star-spangled uniforms with the red, white, and blue prominently displayed on their numbers here. Just sterling uniforms. The Mountain Lion Band played before the game started here tonight, and they played a stirring rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Francis Scott Key, the lyricist for our national anthem. So it's a big game here tonight from Cienega High School, and so much at stake, particularly for these Bobcats here, and they're in for what is expected to be a very difficult, stiff challenge taking on these Mountain Lions. For Mountain View, they're coming in with a 3-1 record. They opened the season with a big 51-6 win against La Jolla, and then it was week 2, a 40-37 victory over Scottsdale Horizon. Week 3 is their only setback. They lost at Sunnyside 46-20 on a very tough Sunnyside Blue Devil team this season. Seems like they're back into prominence in Southern Arizona football. And then last week they came back and erased the memories of their Week 3 loss by crushing Buena 69-7, putting all kinds of points on the scoreboard, crooked numbers as it were. So the Mountain Lions coming out here tonight. Their kicker is number 20. Looks like number 20, Devin Johnson. And the Mountain Lions are going to be going from left to right. I'll strike that. It's number 80 is their kicker. And that's Andrew Blaisdell, their senior kicker, number 80. Andrew Blaisdell will be kicking off here. Set back to receive, and this one will go into the end zone. Tristan Jury was waiting for it, but it's over his head. Also back in the return, number 9, Nico Jordan. So Nico Jordan, a name you'll be hearing tonight throughout the broadcast. Tristan Jury, senior leader. That scat back, they can flank him out on the flats. He's a very good pass receiver, and he's a really tough kid for being just 5'9", 165. So I want to thank you for tuning into our broadcast here tonight. I'm Jason Miller filling in for Alec White, who is on vacation in Hawaii, the Aloha State, kicking it on the beach, drinking some pineapple juice, some freshly squeezed pineapple or coconut milk. I don't know what he's drinking down there in Hawaii. Cats opening up here with twin wide receivers to the near side. And the quarterback, Tyler Hammond's number 12, the junior, in the shotgun formation as Tristan Jury goes in motion to the far side. A flag down here on the play. And we'll see what the penalty is. It's a delay of game here, so not exactly the opening that you want to see. And Pat Nugent already on the sideline, near side, has his hands up in exasperation. What's going on? Come on, this is the first play of the game. So an ominous start here for the Cats, who picked up their first win of the season last week at CDO in a close game. They won that one 31-28. The Cats in week 1 went to Basha and had a difficult time, losing 42-23. Foothills here at home was a close loss, 23-17. And then week 3, Marcos Teniza, 49-6, a really one-sided loss for the Cats. Handoff goes to the right side. Wyatt Dansby is back. So Wyatt Dansby had some issues with a hernia, and he has blazing speed. So that's something that this Bobcat offense could certainly use. And Wyatt gets the early carry. He picks up a single yard on the play, and then Aaron Sauls comes in to replace him. So the Cats manipulating and using here different running backs and different runners in the stable here that Pat Nugent has. He loves to run the football, so we'll be seeing substitutions here throughout the course of the evening with not one particular bread and butter back. Fumbled on the snap here, and that is trouble, and it is covered up by Aaron Sauls, who was the single tailback. So a loss of 8 on the play, and that's going to make this a 3rd down and 17. So precisely the situation that Pat Nugent is hoping to avoid here. Just a rough start, right? So you start off with a delay of game, and then you have a fumble here. And I don't know, it seemed like maybe the snap was slightly errant to the quarterback's right side. So Tyler Hammonds had a tough time with that. And fortunately for the Cats, Aaron Saul's there to cover it up. But 3rd down and 18, deep at their own end. Mountain View showing blitz. Hammonds lofts it up near side. And a great catch. Brandon Vesterdahl on the reception. And there was good coverage there from Mountain View. It was Tommy Lawrence, the senior defensive back, who was there in coverage. And the ball was just perfectly feathered over the outstretched arms of Lawrence and into the hands of Brandon Vesterdahl. So Brandon, the junior wide receiver, 6'1", 175, picks up a big first down here for the Cats early. I feel like the crowd is looking for positive momentum here from the very beginning and really wants to get involved in this game. Handoff goes up the middle and a big tackle in the backfield. It was Devin Johnson, number 20, the junior inside linebacker. And it was Nico Jordan on the carry. Loss of 2 on the play. Well, the Cats have struggled running the football. I mentioned that they don't really have one particular guy that can do it. Last year it was Francisco Dicochea, and Dico was the man. Before that, they've had different running backs that have been the featured tailback, and it's something that this team is trying to find and establish with its identity as who that person is going to be. It's a handoff here to the left side, and it's Will Walker, the fullback, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. Again, it's Devin Johnson, the junior linebacker for Mountain View, making the tackle. So 3rd down and 12 yards to go. Beautiful night. Temperatures in the upper 70s. A nice cool breeze blowing here through the stadium. And on your screens, it would be kind of blowing from the upper left corner to the lower right corner. Oh, probably about a 15-mile-per-hour breeze coming through here. Not too heavy, but just nice enough. 4 wide receivers in the set. And it's Nico Jordan going in motion to the right side. Pass intended for Nico, and it's slightly underthrown. He tried to make the catch at his finger or at his shoe tips, and he was tackled there before he had a chance to make the catch. In coverage was Tommy Lawrence, senior scat back and outside linebacker. And the Bobcats will have to punt here. Jacob Meeker Hackett is the guy. He's a great place kicker in a string of great place kickers that have been at this school. And he's also handling the punting responsibilities. Matt Aragon was first team All-State last year at that position, and he has gone on now. He's playing for the University of Arizona. So they're redshirting him this year, Aragon, but next year he could be the guy handling the punting duties for the Wildcats. Meeker Hackett with a pretty good punt here, and a fair catch signaled, close to touching the Mountain Lion player, and the Cats here are going to down the football at the 33-yard line. So it's Brandon Cross on the down. And the player that was back to receive that was Tion Simmons, a sophomore wide receiver and cornerback. So the Mountain Lions with nice field position here to open things up at their own 32-yard line. This is a team that puts prolific numbers on the scoreboard. Justice Somerset is the guy that runs the show. 6'4", 170 is the senior. 12 touchdowns, 2 picks on the year, completing 53% of his passes, and a sterling 126 quarterback rating. He flings it out left side. The ball is caught, and we'll call that a gain of 5 on the play. And the catch was made by number 3, Isaiah Lovett. So for Lovett, that's his 17th catch on the year. He's got 467 yards receiving, averaging 28.9 per catch and 4 touchdowns. He is the featured target for Justice Somerset. Option here, rolls to the right, throws to the right, receivers wide open, makes a great catch to get both feet down. And that's a gain of 28 yards on the reception by Deshaun Flanagan Fowles. Boy, but you saw everything happening right there. Somerset with the wheels rolling around to his right side on the quarterback option. He had a running back there if he wanted to pitch the ball to him. He could have kept it himself. And he had all the time in the world to throw the football but a great catch near side by Deshaun Flanagan-Fowles to go up there, climb the ladder, make the catch, and get not 1 foot in, but both feet. 1st and 10 for the Mountain Lions from the Bobcat 27-yard line. 8:11 on the clock, no score from Cienega. Somerset back to throw, and he takes it up the middle on the quarterback draw. Bryce Fontana, Will Walker combined on the tackle, but not before Justice picks up 5. Well, you see that pocket awareness there. As the pocket collapsed, he just decided to take it up the middle and picked up some positive yardage on the play. 3 wide outs, 2 far side, 1 near side, and a single tailback. It looks like it's Sebastian Spencer. Actually, it's Bryce Coleman on the carry. So Bryce Coleman gets the ball, goes to his left side, and is tackled by Stephen Harshman, the sophomore linebacker for Cienega. And a first down signaled, so 6 yards on the carry. .7:30 on the clock, no score. Coleman gets the handoff, and nice penetration there by Will Walker. Looked like it was an inside stun or an inside blitz from the inside linebacker, a player who's been on this varsity team since his sophomore season. Kind of the heart and soul of that defense here for the Bobcats. 2nd down and 10. The scoreboard has the down and distance labeled incorrectly, but it is 2nd down and 10. Somerset throws to his left, wide open target in the slot, and the ball is caught by Stan Berryhill Jr. He gets 8 and a first down here as the chains move forward. Now the Mountain Lions are looking at a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Injured Bobcat down, that's Nico Abeda, the senior safety. He's also a placeholder on extra points and field goals, and he is down at the 8-yard line. It's tough to see what happened to him exactly, but now he's rolling over onto his back. Gina Kintawi, the trainer, who does such a great job with all the athletic programs here at Cienega, attending to him. 6:51 on the clock here. Hopefully it's nothing serious. The good thing is that we're seeing some movement there from Nico down on the field. So he moved, he's moving both of his arms and his hands, and he was moving his legs there a little bit. So he's got some movement and some range of motion going. Maybe the wind just knocked out of him. He pops up here. Kintawi gave him a little pat on the stomach, and it's good to see him jogging off here under his own power. So I don't doubt that he will be back here in this ball game. May take a play or a play or two off here, but he may have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. So if you've ever been in that situation before, you know how difficult that can be to be unable to catch your breath. The Cats here hoping to catch their breath here as the Mountain Lions looking at a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. And Justice Somerset has been spot on accurate. He's connected on every one of his pass attempts to this point. 4 for 4. Man coming in motion near side. And here's the pitch to Coleman, who cuts it back to the left. And he is corralled. Mason Craig, number 80, the senior defensive end, the first one to get to him. Also, Julian Guzman, a senior linebacker, converging on the play. 3 wideouts, 2 far side, 1 near side. And Bryce Coleman is the tailback. He is the featured ball carrier for the Mountain Lions. He gets the handoff, goes to his left, shows his speed, and he bounces it back to the inside. Nice job there setting the edge by Dylan Howell, number 24, the senior safety for the Bobcats. Cats run a 3-3-5 defensive formation, 3 linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, so they can mix and match how they want to do it. 3rd and goal from the 3. 10 seconds on the play clock as Justice Somerset surveys the defense in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, bounces it back to the inside, and he slices his way into the end zone for a touchdown. So 3 yards there by Somerset, who showed great patience in what he wanted to do. It seemed like it was a quarterback draw from the get-go, and he was able to fake the handoff to Coleman, take off on his own, and the edge kind of like collapsed on him, but he was able to slice and dice his way into the end zone for a 3-yard touchdown run. And a 2-point conversion here. Left-handed throw, and the catch is good. I don't know if that was by design, but a 2-point conversion, and it's Diego Sparkman on the reception from, I believe it's Caleb McCray, number 11, on the pass. So just like that, the Mountain Lions on their first possession methodically marched down the field, 68 yards on the touchdown drive. And it was Justice Somerset, a 3-yard run, and the 2-point conversion pass from Caleb McCray to Diego Sparkman. Fans, that touchdown is brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, visit their website at agero.com. So Justice is served here at Cienega as their senior quarterback on a 3-yard touchdown run and a 2-point conversion. It gives the Mountain Lions an 8-0 lead to open things off. Nico Jordan on the return brings the ball out to the 28-yard line. I want to thank our, there's a penalty down here going against Cienega, so that'll move the ball back. And the Cats will start here from their own 10-yard line. So another portentous beginning here on their second drive of the night. I want to thank our corporate sponsors, in particular your local State Farm agent Jeff Knoll, who is the kickoff sponsor for Cienega football. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Cats first and 10. Tyler Hammonds in the shotgun. Tristan Jury comes in motion to the near side. Handoff goes to, looks like it's Wyatt Dansby on the carry to the left side. And Wyatt picks up 5 on the carry. I guess that was Aaron Sauls actually on the carry. So for Aaron, his 32nd carry on the year, he's got 170 yards. He's averaging 5.5 yards a carry, is the junior. So second down and 5. Cienega's down 8-0 here with 4:42 on the clock in the first quarter. Dansby throws near side, pass intended for Mason Craig, incomplete. It was a quick pass, looked like a quick timing route. Well, the Bobcats had a quarterback decision to make coming into the season, and it was never really established. Walker Forgetti and Tyler Hammonds in a quarterback audition over the course of Spring Passing League, going into training camp here before the season began. And Pat Nugent was going to go with a 2-quarterback system. Nico Jordan goes in motion far side. Pass intended for Tristan Jury, who makes the catch in traffic. Down across the 42-yard line. The ball comes out. I think he was down on the field here. And I guess that was Nico Abeda actually on the catch. But the signal here is that Mountain View comes up with the football. So Nico did a great job of catching the ball in the seam. He picked up about 22 yards on the reception, and when he went down on the turf, the ball popped out. So they're calling it a fumble here. Mountain Lions with an early turnover, something the Bobcats can't afford to do. Got to limit mistakes. High snap. Somerset calmly pulls the ball down, throws the ball down the middle. Great catch in traffic, takes the hit, and rolls out. It's Stan Berryhill Jr. in the end zone for a touchdown. 42 yards on the catch and run. It was Somerset to Berryhill. Just like that on a high snap, and Somerset coolly, like a volleyball player, setting the ball into the air, came down with it, gathered himself, all in rhythm and in timing. Berryhill on a seam route down the center of the field, made the catch in traffic, took a good pop, and rolled it off like nothing to the far corner of the end zone. So 42 yards on the reception. Berryhill from Somerset. And the extra point up and good by Andrew Blaisdell. So like that, 4:11 on the clock, off the turnover, and it was just one play. Mountain View 15, Cienega 0. Touchdown brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, visit their website at agero.com. Well, the extra point was converted by Andrew Blaisdell, and then the kickoff there goes out of bounds. So the Bobcats will have their best field position to open the evening at the 35-yard line. This will be their third possession. The first possession was a 3-and-out, and then their second possession what appeared to be a nice pickup on a 22-yard catch by Nico Abeda, ending frustratingly with a fumble recovered by Mountain View. And then very quickly, it was a quick strike. They love to put the ball in the air, and that is his 13th touchdown pass of the season for Justice Somerset. 13 touchdowns against his 2 interceptions, a 42-yard pass to Stan Berryhill Jr. Handoff goes up the middle. That is Wyatt Dansby on the carry. And Wyatt picks up 3 for the Cats. Well, Cienega is treading in unfamiliar waters here in the 2015 season. It's certainly been a difficult opening year as head coach for Pat Nugent, who's had success everywhere he's been. The Cats in a down year. They're missing a couple of players with key injuries. I mentioned Walker Forgetti earlier, who was part of that quarterbacking tandem. More athletic, mobile, athletic, good with the wheels. Tristan Jury there in a bit of a wildcat formation, keeps the ball and runs it up the middle for a gain of 2. So with Tyler Hammonds, a junior, and Walker Forgetti, a senior, at that quarterbacking position, and Forgetti has the hamstring injury, which occurred during the Week 1 loss at Basha, and he's been unable to give it 100%. It's the quick burst of speed that is the nemesis of the hamstring, as Pat Nugent calls a timeout here with 2:59 on the clock here in the first quarter. Mountain View is up 15-0. The clock operator needs to stop the clock, and they'll have to add a couple of seconds maybe to the clock here. But Walker Forgetti with the hammy, and I was talking to Dina Kintawi, the trainer, yesterday, and asked her about the hamstring, and she said, look, it's the hamstring. He can do everything except run 100%. So it's the quick burst, the explosivity that would be the downfall, and a recurring injury is what you want to avoid. So we're now in week 4 of the season, or week 5 of the season. If he comes back, maybe next week might be a target date for him to come back, but he's going to have to push it in practice. And any cut could be like the last one here for him that would knock him out for an even longer period of time. So frustrating for him, certainly. It takes away the dimensionality for the Bobcat attack and the speed and athleticism that they wanted at that position. Tyler Hammonds is the guy, and he's going to have to continue to shoulder the burden here for the season. And on the year, he's doing a good job of managing the game. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, the quarterback rating of 91.6. Throws it out far side, and a gain of 7. And the first down markers will go forward as Mason Craig picks up the first down on the catch. But in years past, Cienega has predicated its attack by throwing the football. They've always had kind of like a breakaway running back, And I don't know if this team has that kind of explosiveness in the backfield. So 2 wide outs near side. Will Walker is talking to Hammonds at the quarterback position. And the tailback behind Hammonds. Handoff and fumbled. Well, that was messy. The ball is down on the field. And Mountain View indicating they have it. Indeed, they do. Boy, it almost looked like a play action. And Wyatt Dansby never really had that football cradled securely in his breadbasket. It was kind of it really looked like a play action fake. And you can see Wyatt here coming off the field. So 2 turnovers here in the first quarter. Both of them recovered by Mountain View. Both of them fumbles. Mountain View's band opened things up tonight, and they played beautifully. And they are jamming on the far side of the field in the visitors' stands. The visitors' stands are packed to the gills. Justice Somerset, has impressed early here tonight. Coolly surveying the defense and running the play action pass, roll out to the right, keeps it, picks up 4 on the carry. Bryce Fontana on the tackle. Justice Somerset, a 3-yard touchdown run and a 42-yard touchdown pass here, accounting for all of the offense for the Mountain Lions to this point. Another key injury that the Bobcats are faced with here is the loss of Gabe Flynn, a senior linebacker who would be on that field right now. Nice play out in the flats there. It was number 81, Skylar Kavanaugh, on the tackle. Bryce Coleman on the reception for Mountain View. But Gabe Flynn, number 36, would be part of that linebacking core for the Cats. He's been out since the season began with mononucleosis. So he's hoping to come back. He was expecting to come back here tonight and make a season debut. But I'm watching him right now pacing the sidelines. He's frustrated because he should be out there playing with his teammates. So hopefully next week he'll be able to make his return. Somerset on the quarterback draw. He picks up 5 and what would be a first down. There's a marker down on the play. Could be a holding here going against Mountain View. And that's what it is. So it should be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And it should be a loss of down as well. So that will make it 3rd down and 12. See what the Cats try to do here with Somerset. They're going to have to figure out a way to contain him. I don't know if they would run a spy on him directly. Berryhill comes in motion in the slot near side. And the pass goes to Berryhill in traffic, makes the catch at the 35. Stiff arms his way down to the 20 and weaves inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. So a big pickup there by Stan Berryhill, Stan the man. Gain of 27 and a first down for the Mountain Lions in the red zone. This red zone attack is brought to you by Pyramid Federal Credit Union. For all of your banking needs, go to Pyramid Federal Credit Union. 25 seconds on the clock, first quarter. Mountain View up 15-0. And they'll have to snap the ball here as the play clock is inside the game clock. There's a differential of like 4 seconds. Handoff goes to Berryhill near side. He cuts, eludes a tackler, and is ultimately brought down at the 8 with another marker down. And it's probably a holding going against Mountain View. Tristan Jury and Mason Craig converging on the tackle, and the hold indeed goes against Mountain View. So that'll stop the clock with 4.9 ticks of the clock. One last play here, most likely to end the first quarter. And now it's a first down and 17 for Mountain View. And there's a stoppage down on the field. Oh, okay, so that's the end of the first quarter. So after 1, Mountain View 15, Cienega 0. Tonight's game is brought to you by Aris Family Dental, Pizza Hut, Dr. Ty and Dean from the Sports Institute of Tucson, Walker Family Medicine, Lieber Orthodontics, Vale Family Dentistry, Momentum Physical Therapy. As you see the Junior Bobcats cheerleading squad down there on the track, aspiring cheerleaders here at Cienega at some point in time with the Palms. Nice job there by the Mighty Mites. Tonight's game also brought to you by Vale Family Dentistry with Dr. Donnelly, Momentum Physical Therapy, Aaron Wilson with the Keller Williams Real Estate Team, Chapman Honda, the Hopman Group, CrossFit Lanista, Brandon Lopez, former Wild Bobcat great here at Cienega, Renell Cox from Tierra Antigua Realty, and United Community Health Center. We'll get to the rest of the sponsors in a few. Somerset back to throw. Lost this one to the corner of the end zone. Nice job there on defense. A late hand going up to bat that ball away. But it was just a straight-out timing pattern. And I think back in coverage for the Bobcats, it was Dakota Poe, number 6, the junior cornerback. Younger brother of Christian Poe, who is the younger brother of Edgar Allan Poe, the Raven. Great wide receiver and a solid linebacker. Both of the older Poes are playing football at West Point for Army. And there's a sack. So the pocket collapsed there, and converging and kind of squeezing Somerset, it was Stephen Harshman and Bryce Fontana. So Fontana going both ways at defensive tackle, also on the offensive line. His dad, Mark, a former Wildcat standout at the university. He's one of the coaches here for the offensive line, along with Steve Schween and Chuck McCullum. And I have a shout out to a couple of Steve Schween's good friends, Justice Gallick with the New York Jets, and Ed Jaskolski from SUNY Brockport, one of the greats from the Golden Eagles team. The Golden Eagles of SUNY Brockport taking on St. John Fisher in the Courage Bowl tomorrow, a charity game. So special shout out to Justin Gallick and Ed Jaskolski if you guys are watching on the East Coast. Steve Schween, a great coach here at Cienega. He's going to make a trip out to the East Coast to watch the JETS, Jets, take on the Patriots December 27th. But props to you guys, and the Jets are looking strong this year. It's good to see the New York Jets having a strong start to their season. Todd Bowles, the coach, Arizona Wildcats, and Arizona Cardinal fans familiar with that name. Not Wildcat, but Cardinal fans familiar with that name. Did a great job as a defensive coordinator up at Phoenix for the Cardinals. So a field goal attempt here. Oh, it hits the left upright. So that was we'll call it a 37-yard field goal attempt by Andrew Blaisdell. And I saw him earlier tonight kicking from 45 yards. So his range, I would stretch at 45 yards. That was a 37, well within inside of his range. But he slightly hooked it to the left, and it went right off the left upright. But it had enough distance there, and he almost tucked it inside the upright. So a bit of a respite there for the Bobcat faithful. A bit of a break, their first one really tonight. And we'll see if they can parlay that into some sort of positive momentum here, going left to right. So the Cats all in Navy helmets, Navy pants, Navy hats. There's Nico Jordan down to the 40-yard line, a gain of 20, and that's the Cats' biggest play of the night. Well, Jordan is the leading carrier for the Cats, averaging 5.9 a carry, a single touchdown on the year. So certainly his numbers pale in comparison to Francisco Dicochea, what we saw last year. Other greats like Brandon Lopez, Willie Willis, Manny Vera. But the ball goes back to Jordan's hands, and he follows a nice block there by Bryce Fontana, who is leading a bit of a convoy. So another gain. That one is 18. So 2 carries here, netting 38 yards. And the Cats may have found something here in this offensive formula. 1st and 10 from the Mountain Lion 42-yard line. Jordan again up the middle. Picks up 3 on the carry. Tackle made by number 56. Mark Rumsley. Rumsley, a senior linebacker and offensive lineman. Ten minutes on the clock, second quarter. Mountain View up 15-0. Hammonds hands off to Will Walker, and Will picks up 3, which makes it 3rd down and 3. Well, the approach here has been to try to establish running the football for this team, and then set Hammonds up with some play action and some pretty safe routes going to the outside primarily. Bit of confusion here as Caleb Bost came in motion one way, then went back the other way. Brandon Vesterdahl goes in motion far side. Bost on the reception near side. 1st down and more. Inside the 20, down to the 12-yard line. So a gain of 21 by Caleb Bost on the reception. A big target. Sister Kia Bost, one of the Bobcat basketball players, big post-up player. So there's some nice DNA in that family, and size playing its way out here. That's a nice catch by Caleb Bost. Handoff Nico Jordan, near side, lowers the shoulder, and carries the tackler out of bounds with him. Hard to tell who that tackler is from Mountain View. Is that 45? Very hard to see for me, but I like the numbers. They've got the stars and stripes in their numbers, stars on their shoulder pads, and they're wearing red, white, and blue striped socks. Hand off to Walker up the middle. Keeps those legs plugging away as he inches down to the 2-yard line. Tackled by Mark Rumsley again, number 56. 3rd down and goal from the 2. And I'm sure the Cats would love to run this one in. And I think this is definitely 4-down territory. So we'll see if they try to run the ball with Nico Jordan behind Will Walker paving the way. Oh, that was a bad handoff. Walker stutter steps his way and falls down close to the goal line. Setting up 4th and... Oh, so they picked up a 1st down. All right, perfect. So the Cats now 1st and goal from the 1. And Walker with just enough hesitation. The stutter step going to the left, cutting it back and finding a seam to the right. Lunges forward for a 1st down. Hammonds hands off to Nico Jordan. Jordan on his feet into the end zone for a touchdown. So 2 yards on the carry for Nico Jordan. And the Cats had to answer there, but a great conversion on 3rd and 1, setting up that 1st and goal. And Nico Jordan, a 1-yard touchdown run. Cats waiting here for some indication from the sideline as the clock winds down to under 10 seconds here. The line trying to hurry it up. They might take a delay of game call here, and that's what we're going to see. So the delay, the confusion leading to that delay of game call, just a 5-yard penalty. So it really shouldn't have any impact on the kicking game. Meeker Hackett's range is close to 50 yards. And he can boom them from 50 during pregame warmups and during practice. So we're looking at basically a 25-yard extra point for Jacob Meeker Hackett. Kick is up and it is good. And the Bobcats on the board with 7:22 left in the second quarter. It's Mountain View 15, Cienega 7. Touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run by Nico Jordan, brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, go to agero.com. The Red Zone sponsor is Pyramid Federal Credit Union. And the rest of our sponsors tonight, United Community Health Center, Hamster Heating and Cooling, Rich Hillman with Nova Home Loans, Jeff Daniels with Nova Financial, Pancho Bernal, Jostens of Southern Arizona, Dream, Believe, Achieve. Your local Jostens representatives, Joe and Jan Grossi, their son Nick Grossi, number 8, a great kid, part of Bobcat TV. Noonan Physical Therapy, Swaim Associates, and Montgomery's Grill open after the game. Jacob Meeker Hackett gets set to kick off here. Stan Berryhill waiting at his 12-yard line. Had a beautiful touchdown catch earlier. Squib kick here. Berryhill will play it off the second hop. Down to the 10. Cuts back near side. And threads his way across the 25. Nice coverage there by Cienega's Caleb Bost, number 21. So Bost had a nice catch earlier. Now he's there in special teams coverage. Gets congratulated by a couple of his teammates, including Eddie Torres, number 34, as he makes his way off the field. Beautiful night here in Vail. Trains rolling through earlier. We saw the Tropicana Express with all of their orange juice advertisements on the side of it. Tonight's game also brought to you by NYPD, the New York Pizza Department, pizza, wings, subs, and salads, dine-in, carry-out, delivery. They'll cater to any event. You can call NYPD at 207-7667. Somerset hands the ball off to Bryce Coleman, and Bryce picks up 2. Tackled by number 66, that's Antonio Moreno, the senior center and defensive lineman for the Cats. So the Cats always rotating players through the offensive and defensive lines. On the left end, it's Eddie Bensing. And it's 2nd and 8. Somerset, the shotgun. Throws near side, timing pattern. Well, the ball was in and out of the hands. It was a perfectly lofted pass to Isaiah Lovett, who has about 8 inches in height over Nico Abeda. So Nico, number 2, back there in coverage, put his arms up. Somerset dropped the ball right to where Lovett had it. It was in his hands, but he couldn't hold on to it. 3rd and 8. Somerset rolls to his right, throws to his right. Ball is caught. Chris Vega right there to make the tackle. And Mountain View will be short of a first down. The ball was caught by number 1, Sebastian Spencer, junior slot receiver. His 16th catch on the season. And Mountain View appearing to go for it here on 4th down and 3. From their own 30-yard line. Might be trying to draw Cienega offsides here, and I think that's the case. As you see, Somerset looking over toward the coaching staff. 5 seconds on the play clock. And they're going for it. Pass near side, incomplete. There was pressure applied in the backfield by Brandon Cross. So that's a puzzling decision, to say the least. The Bobcats have beautiful field position now at Mountain View's 33-yard line. So it appeared to be, I thought it was a ruse, and then Mountain View truly going for it. And the pass is incomplete. Intended target was Isaiah Lovett. The Bobcats have beautiful field position on the 33-yard line. They're just coming off of a nice sustained touchdown drive. They're down by 8 points, and with 5:50 on the clock here in the second quarter, they're right back in business. Twins near side, handoff up the middle. And it's Aaron Sauls on the carry, picking up 5. Bobcats' attack tonight is predicated by running the football and mixing in the pass when they want to mix it up. Handoff to Sauls again. And Aaron is close to a first down. Tackled by Caleb McRae and Mark Rumsley. Rumsley's been active tonight. 3rd and less than a yard. We'll call it a foot. Will Walker, the single setback. Twins far side. Tristan Jury comes in motion. Actually, that's a play-action fake, and Jury gets the ball in the Wildcat formation and picks up 5 and a first down. So some misdirection there with Nico coming near side in motion, and then Tristan Jury on the direct snap to him, taking it up the middle for a first down. A nice wrinkle there. Jury, the fearless senior at 5'9", 165, undersized, but he is running the attack here at the quarterback position. Keeps the ball at the middle again. Hesitates and picks up 6. So second down, about 4.5 yards to go. 4 minutes exactly on the clock, second quarter. Mountain View up 15-7 here at Cienega High School. Bost and Vesterdahl far side at wide out. Handoff goes to Sauls, who's going the wrong direction. And he does a solid job of getting close back to the line of scrimmage, but we'll call it a loss of 2. That play was moving in the wrong direction to begin with. 3rd and 7, so we're probably looking at what you consider to be a passing down, certainly. And we'll see what the offensive architects here of this Cienega attack have in store. Mason Craig near side. Vesterdahl in the slot goes in motion toward the far side. Nico Jordan and Will Walker in tailback. Pass to the corner. It was a nice pass, but beautifully defended there at the last moment. Mason Craig was the intended target. I don't know if that was Ricky Marasegan or Xander Payne. Actually, that was Gibara Menubi. Gibara Menubi on the defense there with a nice job. And Meeker Hackett comes on for the field goal, and it's good from 30 yards. So the Cats put some more points on the scoreboard on a 30-yard field goal by Jacob Meeker Hackett. And the Cats are within striking distance at 15-10. Field goal brought to you by State Farm's friendly neighborhood agent, Jeff Knoll. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So Jacob Meeker Hackett, last year, if you remember, there was the playoff game, double overtime thriller against Marcos Deniza, and it wasn't a field goal, but it was an extra point that had more pressure on it than most long yardage field goals that you'll see. And Meeker Hackett, cool as a cucumber, under pressure, comes through right there. Squib kick there. Hit by one of the front linemen in that formation and recovered nicely by Mountain View. It was Stephen Villa on the recovery. It was an intended, I don't think it was an intended onside kick. I think it was an intended squib that just happened to find Villa, and Villa alertly covering it up there. So Mountain View now with great field position from their own 46-yard line, maybe the 47. Breeze going left to right. Mountain Lions going right to left in their star-spangled whites. Somerset in the shotgun. Option to the left. There's the pitch, running it like clockwork to Bryce Coleman, who picks up 10 and a first down for the Mountain Lions. That's exactly what you want to do on the quarterback option. You want to run laterally to the line of scrimmage, wait for as long as you can for the defenders to commit. All three defenders in space here near side committed to Somerset, and he pitched the ball perfectly to Coleman, who picks up 10. Hand off to Coleman now up the middle, and he picks up 7 on this carry. So Bryce Coleman here finding his rhythm. Mountain Lions 2:45 on the clock. Plenty of time. And I think they have 2 timeouts left, but it may be 3. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Coleman again, runs into a blocker. Now the speed here near side. Breaks a tackle down inside the 15-yard line. So a big pickup for Coleman, who picks up 15 plus. Then some words here on the track. Nico Abeda having some words. They're about the same size and stature, about the same height. And 2 of them jawing it up a little bit. But Coleman, what you would consider to be a classic scat back, 5'8", 172. Low center of gravity, difficult to find in a pile. And a timeout here called by Cienega with 2:28 left in the second quarter. Want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. The Sports Institute of Tucson, Dr. Tyan Dean, keeping your Bobcats healthy since 2003. Dr. Tyan Dean is the official doctor, the team doctor for the Cienega Bobcats. Jostens play like a champion Bobcats. Humbled and honored to serve local Southern Arizona high schools as they prepare their students during their 4-year journey with the ultimate goal of celebrating their high school graduation. Dream, believe, achieve, and remember. Jostens of Southern Arizona, your friendly representatives, Joe and Jan Grossi. They are C2G, committed to graduating. You can find them at online at jostens.com. Again, Joe and Jan Grossi. Also tonight's game brought to you by Mama's Famous Pizza and Heroes, locally owned and operated by the Spina family. Joe Spina of Mama's Pizza. I just got hit by a mosquito on my right. I'll call it a tricep. There's no muscle there, but I just got hit by a mosquito. Fade route, near side. Great catch. Incomplete. In and out. Isaiah Lovett climbing the ladder. Had the ball in his hands, and when he hit the ground, the ball popped out. So the referee right there saying that one's incomplete. Bryce Coleman, handoff. He's got time to go, and it's a touchdown. 15 yards on the carry. The umpire was there, and Coleman used that umpire as a bit of a screen or a bit of a blocker, and it was smooth sailing. As soon as he passed the line of scrimmage, he had all kinds of daylight, and he's got shifting moves. So Coleman, 15 yards on the touchdown run. Extra point is up and good. Andrew Blaisdell, the senior, on the extra point. He's 2 for 2 tonight. So just like that, Mountain View strikes back. I think it should be 22 to 10. Bryce Coleman, 15 yards on the run. Touchdown brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, go to their website at Agero, Agero.com. Not sure if Steve Schween's boys from New York are watching tonight. Justice Gallick with the New York Jets and Ed Jaskolski with SUNY Brockport, one of his teammates when Schween was playing back in the day for the Golden Eagles. But if you guys are watching, we just want to send our best out to you from Coach Schween. Solid guy. I'm sure you guys are good guys too. Kickoff returned out here across the 30, where the Bobcats will have first and 10. 2:09 on the clock. Cats down 22 to 12. Looking at these Mountain Lions and what they do, they're averaging about 500 yards of offense every game. They love to throw the ball, and they like to have some balance in the running attack too. We've seen two of their primary weapons, senior Justice Somerset, senior Bryce Coleman, that dynamic duo in their backfield, and then a trio of wide receivers that have made their impression here. Isaiah Lovett, Stan Berryhill, and Sebastian Spencer, those three guys all shining in the passing game. Hammond's back to throw. Oh, it's beautiful coverage there. Intended target was Skylar Kavanaugh, and it was Tommy Lawrence, the senior defensive back, just drifting back and timing his leap at the perfect moment. Kavanaugh is a big target for the Cats. 6'4", 196 is the junior, and I think he's kind of growing into his height. Real lanky, but strong, like a solid core. And he's a wrestler. I'm not sure if he plays volleyball, but to me he would be a middle blocker or even an outside hitter. Second down and 10. Hammonds pumps, throws. Oh, in and out of the hands. And Tristan Jury, you know he thinks he should have caught that ball. He was looking to run, and he had some room, especially near side, to maneuver within. But off of his hands, took his eyes off the ball. Third and 10. Aaron Saul is running the play in here on offense from the sideline, and he subs in for Nico Jordan. Four wideouts, three near side, one far side. Delayed handoff to Will Walker, who goes down inside the 40. So a gain of 6, maybe 7. It's 4th and 3. And the Bobcats are sitting on the punting unit. You just wonder, when they had an opportunity a little bit earlier, when they were deep inside of Mountain View's territory, and they had to settle for a field goal, you wonder if those lost points, those lost 4 points, will come back and haunt Cienega here tonight. Down by 12. There's a whistle down on the field. And Mountain View here calling a timeout. So they've got time here with 2 timeouts, make that 1 timeout left, 1:21 on the clock, and likely they'll have some decent field position to maybe see if they can make another foray into Cienega's territory to put some more points on the board. Tonight's game also brought to you by Discovery Learning Center. You can mention this ad in Cienega's program and receive a free week of childcare for new clients only. You have to see the director for details. And the Discovery Learning Center would like to wish the Cienega Bobcat football team a great season. They're located at 6601 East Broadway. You can visit their website at discoverylearningcenter.com or call them at 298-0317. That's Discovery Learning Center at 298-0317. Jacob Meeker Hackett is set to punt. Stan Berryhill Jr. is set to return. Berryhill with a great 42-yard touchdown catch earlier in the game. And this one he is going to catch at his own 15 and try to return it. Nice block there at the 15. Eludes another tackler and is brought down at the 20-yard line. So a return of 5. Mountain View 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Well, of course, football fans here in southern Arizona, there's a penalty marker down at the field. But football fans anticipating tomorrow's huge matchup between UCLA. There's a block in the back here going against Mountain View, so that'll move the ball deeper in their own end. UCLA ranked 11th nationally, Arizona ranked 16th. ESPN Game Day crew will be out at the campus at the U tomorrow. Huge deal. I think they'll be out there from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So looking at Eastern time, it would be 9 a.m. to noon. And then the game tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. I don't know if it's on ESPN or which network, but probably ESPN. If they're out with their game day crew, they'll probably broadcast the game. So a huge game tomorrow. People looking forward to that one. Should be a great one. Pitch goes out to Bryce Coleman, and he's dragged down at the 8-yard line. Will Walker on the tackle. Somerset the option pitch to Coleman. Coleman with a nice block there. Cuts it inside at the 15 and is bounced out of at the 23-yard line. Stephen Harshman forcing him out of bounds. 23 seconds on the clock. Somerset lofting the ball down the seam near side, just overthrown about a yard in front of the intended target, Isaiah Lovett. And it looks like Mountain View trying to exploit the size advantage here on the near side. They've been working that combination throughout the course of the night with success. We have an official's timeout down on the field. 19 seconds on the game clock. And the play clock stops at 18 seconds. And now it will reset and start over again. So 19 on the game clock, 19 seconds on the play clock. Justice Somerset in the pistol, hands off to Bryce Coleman. Up the middle, keeps those legs pumping. Now he bounces it to the far side. If he had gotten it outside, he had 3 blockers there waiting to set a wall for him, and he could have sprung that one back. As it stands, he picks up 7 and a first down. And I think Mountain View here now calling a timeout. So their final timeout, 7 seconds on the clock. Mountain View a 12-point lead at 22-10. So working a skeleton crew here tonight, Josh Kramer from Cienega's technology department, the man with the plan, setting up everything here tonight. And Jillian Summers is working the camera as the rest of our crew have different obligations tonight. We're looking forward to a really interesting halftime show. We'll bring you the audio and the video from that show. Looks like we have a conglomeration of bands with different uniforms and different jerseys. The Mountain View band played pregame and were phenomenal. The Copper Thunder Marching Band, under the direction of Jim Matsushino, will be playing here at halftime as well with their Russian theme. It's a mixture of Rush, the great Canadian supergroup, Geddy Lee, Neil Peart on drums, and also Tchaikovsky, the great Russian composer, So a mix or a mashup basically between what could be considered as two completely disparate styles. Somerset back to throw, throws far side, timing pattern to the outside, and a great catch right at midfield. Both feet in and going out of bounds after the catch. Deshaun Flanagan fouls. 1.9 seconds left. So now Mountain View has a shot, if they want to go for it, to launch something down the field here on a bit of a Hail Mary, or they could try a little bit of trickery. And we'll see what they elect to do. Screen pass near side, and it's dropped, and that expires the clock here at halftime. So it was a wide receiver screen intended for Barry Hill Jr., who's got good speed. And the Bobcats will go into the locker room down 12 at 22-10. We'll take a break. We will bring you live coverage of the band as they begin to play. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of Cienega Bobcat football. You're watching Bobcat TV.
Old Bell, Corona Foothills, Redmond Vista, Desert Sky, and thank you, Jerry Warner, Chris Constantine, Jared Hughes, and Monica and Michelle for bringing their students to the game tonight. Drum majors, Audrey Schreiner, Katie Nichols, and Jeremy Meeker Hackett. Is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Copper Thunder Marching Band.
Okay, back in action here in the second half. Touchback on the kickoff. So Mountain View will open from their own 20-yard line. And it's Somerset lobbing the pass here near side. There's a little bit of hand jostling. And we're going to have, I think it's pass interference going against the Bobcats. Dakota Poe in coverage near side, and he jostled the arms and hands of Deshaun Flanagan Fowles, and the referee calls a foul against Dakota Poe. So the youngest male in the Poe family, the third Poe to play at Cienega and to star on this team, whistled for the foul, and now Mountain View 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing. Bryce Fontana on the tackle. It was Wyatt Adams on the carry. Ran into the parents of Mountain View's number 25, Ricky Marsegan, during halftime, and I'm sure I just did an awful job pronouncing his name in the first half. Handoff up the middle, tackle made by number 11, Brandon Cross, the senior linebacker on the tackle. And again, that was Wyatt Adams getting the second carry here. 3rd and 10. So a big third down from Cienega's perspective to try to get this ball back here and maybe make a statement to open things up in the second half. Somerset, though, is as poised of a field general as you'll see at the high school level. 3 wideouts near side. He throws to his left side, far side of the field. Oh, there's some contact there. That could be a flag, and a late flag comes in. So the coverage that was there on the far side, it seemed like the defensive back on the far side of the field, and that's Nico Abeda, was just trying to slow things down. Pass was intended for Isaiah Lovett. And again, Lovett's at 6'4", Nico's at 5'9". So we're giving up 7 inches of height in that matchup, and that's one that Mountain View has looked to exploit over the course of this game. 1st and 10, ball at midfield. Pitch goes near side. Again, it's Wyatt Adams on the carry. So I don't know if he's a bit of a change of pace from Bryce Coleman, or if Bryce Coleman's just getting a spell, a breather to open things up here in the second half. Imbalanced formation to the near side. Somerset back to throw. Slant to the left. Incomplete. The ball was delivered on target for Isaiah Lovett, but it was a tough play to make as he was going down to the turf. Good coverage on the outside by Cienega's Dylan Howell, number 24, one of those 5 defensive backs that they employ in their coverage. I guess you could call it a nickel formation because they've got 5 defensive backs. 3rd and 9, Somerset back to throw. Ball just overthrown. He led his target by a yard or so. Deshaun Flanagan Fowles on the post, and he just led him a little bit too far. Back there in coverage was Dakota Poe with nice coverage. So 4th down, Mountain View will likely punt the ball here, as you can feel the wind kind of picking up now. We're in the catbird seat on top of the press box here. The flag is not blowing at all, but we can feel it up top. That's a shanked punt that will roll out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So that's a 21-yard punt. Josh Thonvold on the kick, and he just mishit that one off the outside of his foot. The classic shank. And Bobcat fans are thinking, thank you very much. Cienega 1st and 10 from their own 30. 9:58 on the clock, third quarter. Mountain View up 22-10. Tyler Hammonds in the shotgun. Handoff goes to the near side. It's Aaron Sauls. Then Aaron picks up 6. Oh, we got a coach down. That was a tough one. It looks like it's Coach Brown who got smacked there. He is a tough guy. But he got cracked, it looked like, maybe in 2 places. On the bridge of his nose is one, and that's where he appears to be kind of holding himself. And hopefully he didn't get hit in the legs, because he went down hard onto the turf. We'll keep you posted on his status. It's 2nd and 2. Handoff to Walker. The fullback barrels his way for 7 and a first down. So Dina Kantawi is on the situation there. It was Coach Dan Brown down at the 40-yard line. He got a collision from one of the players coming off the field, and that player was coming in full speed. And it's good to see Dan now sitting up and being helped up to his feet. Nico Jordan takes the pitch to the outside, and he'll pick up 6 on the carry. Bobcats are down 12 here, 22-10, 9:25 on the clock. And we have a face mask here going against Mountain View. That's a costly penalty, 15 yards on that one. And now the Cats will be in great position at the Mountain View 32-yard line. First and 10 Cats from the Mountain Line 32. Handoff goes to Will Walker up the middle. A flag is down on the play. Typically indicative of holding. But we'll see here what the call is. We have a false start going against the Cats. A 5-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15. Good to see Dan Brown now up on his feet. So he got cracked again in 2 places, I think. He's walking gingerly on the right leg, and he also took a bit of a pop to the nose. But it looks like the leg is what's causing him the most discomfort right now. Dr. Tyan Dean from the Sports Institute of Tucson, who is the team doctor for the Bobcats, is right there attending to Coach Brown. So it's good to see Dan on his feet on the bench. Jake Meeker Hackett also checking in with him to make sure he's okay. Dan's a tough guy, so maybe some turf burn on the right elbow and a bit of a shot on the right knee and a pop to the nose. But he's up and it looks to be doing okay. All right, so the handoff there goes to Wyatt Dansby, making his return here from a hernia injury. And now it's 2nd down and 12 for the Cats. Rincon Valley Fire Department also on scene here as part of the medical staff. They were right on it. Will Walker moves the pile, holding on to the football, cradling it tightly in both of his arms. And he drags a couple of tacklers down with him very close to the first down marker. Tavian Roby and number 52, Kean Anderson, combining on the tackle. 3rd and short for the Cats. Handoff, Jordan, left side. And he picks up a first down. So when the Cats have needed the running game tonight in short yardage situations, they've come through. And it's a combination of Aaron Sauls, Nico Jordan, and Will Walker doing the heavy lifting in this running attack tonight. Pitch goes out to Sauls, who threads his way nicely back to the outside after cutting inside for a couple. And he'll pick up 3, making it 2nd and 7. There's one thing this backfield lacks is a true home run threat or a true breakaway threat who has a chance of turning something into a touchdown run from any spot on the field. I don't think they have that kind of speed in this stable of running backs here under Coach Pat Nugent. But they're certainly effective. Brandon Vesterdahl comes in motion near side. Will Walker gets the handoff to the far side, and he spins his way nicely, breaks a tackle, and is dragged down inside the 10. So 12 on the carry from Will. We have a 1st and goal now from the 9-yard line. This red zone attack is brought to you by Pyramid Federal Credit Union. 5:55 on the clock. Mountain View up 22-10. The Cats a pair of wideouts flanked near side. Caleb Bost is nearest to us. Nico Jordan goes the opposite way, and he follows a beautiful block by Bryce Fontana into the end zone. 9 yards on the carry. Nico Jordan, his 2nd touchdown run of the night. So Jacob Meeker Hackett, and it's a fake here, or it looks like some misdirection. So all kinds of movement happening on the line. It appeared that Hackett was trying to kick the extra point, and then you had Helter Skelter. There's no other way to describe it. And a flag down on the field. So we have an offsides going against Mountain View. And if there was a time to pull some trickery, that would have been the time to do it. So trying to get a 2-point conversion here. The Cats down by 6. If they fail on a 1-point conversion, they're down by 5 points, and they'll still need a touchdown anyway. Again, it's all kinds of movement on the line of scrimmage. Tristan Jury is the single man back there playing the quarterback position. And he's rolling to his right, and he's going to, oh, he's not going to make it. Trying to stretch his way, and stifled and shut down there by the Mountain View defense. Skylar Lee, the senior special teamer and defensive back, was there, and I'll credit him with the tackle. But it was Tristan trying to run the ball in, and he just ran out of space as the Mountain View defense converged upon him. So a failed conversion. And even if they're down 4, they're still going to need a touchdown to make up the difference. So down 6, it doesn't feel like such a demoralizing failed conversion attempt. And the Cats now down 22-16, so down 6 points. And that touchdown was brought to you by Ajero. It was Nico Jordan, 9 yards on the touchdown run. He scored both Bobcat touchdowns, one from a yard, the last one from 9. And the Cats narrow the deficit to 6 points, trailing 22-16 with 5:45 left in the third quarter. Meeker Hackett with the kickoff. This one will be fielded at the 5-yard line. and taken across the 30-yard line by Stan Berryhill Jr. Berryhill, a beautiful touchdown catch earlier tonight from 42 yards. Well, the Cats have come out here in the second half and made a statement. They open up with a nice defensive series, and now the drive going down the field. And remember, it started with a bad punt, so the Cats had pretty decent field position from their own 30-yard line, going 70 yards on the drive, culminated by the 9-yard touchdown run by Nico Jordan. Justice Somerset, the quarterback, hands the ball off to Isaiah Lovett. Actually, that's Sebastian Spencer on the carry. And Sebastian picks up 2, running east and west before he finally heads north. And he picks up a single yard after all that running. He had those pedometers, all those steps. How many steps did he pull? Well, he ran about 50 or 60 steps on that one to pick up a single yard. So 2nd down and 9. Deshaun Flanagan Fowles is lined up near side. Sebastian Spencer, the slot inside of him, also on our side of the field. Pass goes far side, and that's a nice catch. A gain of 17, maybe 18. And it's Bryce Coleman. May have been Isaiah Lovett on the catch, and a flag down on the play. It was a pickup of 17 if it stands, and the referee's talking it over on the far side of the field. We'll see what they come up with here. Pass interference going against the Bobcats. So when you look at the wideouts that Mountain View employs, Isaiah Lovett at 6'4", Sebastian Spencer at 5'11", Deshaun Flanagan Fowles at 6'4". You have a pair of your wideouts on the field that are 6'4", and you're going against guys that are 5'9", 5'11", 6'1". You've got some height on your advantage. Bryce Coleman runs out of daylight. He was swallowed up by a trio of Bobcats. Will Walker, Stephen Harshman, and Brandon Cross, all converging to bring him down. 2nd down and 11. Stack formation is near side. There's a single wideout on the far side of the field. And Justice Somerset so comfortable with his timing routes here. Takes 2 steps. Now he's rolling near side. He's got plenty of daylight. There's a penalty down on the play. It's likely a hold on the right side of that offensive line. Somerset picks up 15, but this one's probably coming back. I mean, he had the entire side of the field from the right hash to the sideline wide open, and Somerset just took it. So there was a hold here on the right side of the line. This one's coming back, so it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which would make it 3rd and about 19 for Mountain View. So again, another pivotal defensive stand here facing the Bobcats. And the crowd, I've got to tell you, the crowd has been into it, but they haven't been overly enthusiastic here tonight. Kids are probably distracted because they're starting a 2-week vacation for fall break right now, and the attention doesn't seem to be hyper-focused on the action on the field. Somerset back to throw, far side, timing pattern. Some contact out there, and now a late flag coming in. So it was Isaiah Lovett who was out there on the far side, and the Bobcats had Dylan Howell in coverage. Maybe a little bit of contact, but I think the home crowd here, their frustration is warranted and justified because it didn't really seem like pass interference, at least from my perspective. There was some jostling, certainly, but you can really hear it. And that's a big penalty going against Cienega with 4:02 on the clock. So Mountain View, the recipient here. And there have been some flags that have come in late. And I think certainly earlier there were some pass interference calls that were justifiably called against Cienega. Blitz comes from the weak side. And what a beautiful catch that was. And a gain of 18. Stan Berryhill Jr. on the catch, and a late flag coming in. And it was Nico Abeda on the pass coverage. And they're going to say, I think it's going to be like personal foul going against the Cats. So we have the Berryhill catch and an additional 15 yards tacked onto it. So think about the sequence. What would have been a 4th and 11 turns into a first down, turns into a 17 or 20 yard reception plus a 15-yard penalty, so 35 yards. And now the Mountain Lions are in the red zone of the Cats. This red zone attack is brought to you by Pyramid Federal Credit Union. For all of your banking needs, check out Pyramid Federal Credit Union and see how they can help you out today. 2nd down and 12. Mountain Lions with a chance here to really get some separation on the scoreboard. 6-point lead. I would say they're in field goal range right now. Looking at what would be about a 35-yard attempt from where the ball's spotted. We have a false start going against Mountain View. So that makes it a 2nd down and 17 to go. Four wideouts, 3 near, 1 far. We have a blitz coming in here late, and Somerset with his speed is able to pick up 6 as he rolls to his left. But really deft at rolling and throwing off the run. Very athletic at the quarterback position. Strong arm. Kind of reminds me of like a Teddy Bridgewater, like when you watch him play. Louisville quarterback that's playing in the NFL for the Minnesota Vikings just seems to have a really strong grasp of the offense and seems very poised in the pocket. So 3rd down and 12. Justice Somerset, number 8, the senior quarterback, surveying the defense. Takes 2 steps, throws to his left, a timing pattern. Oh, what a great catch. And a touchdown. 18 yards on the reception by Isaiah Lovett. And the Mountain Lions are loving it. Isaiah Lovett, 18 yards on the touchdown catch. It was just, I guess we can call it a bit of a fade route where the quarterback takes a couple steps and launches it up to the left side. And Isaiah Lovett going up to catch that one. Extra point is converted by Andrew Blaisdell. And that's an unfortunate sequence of events from Cienega's perspective, as Mountain View extends their lead now to 13 at 29-16 with 2:57 on the clock. Isaiah Lovett, 18 yards on the touchdown catch from Justice Somerset. The touchdown is brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, driven. To find out more, go to agero.com. The red zone attack by Pyramid Federal Credit Union. And the extra point brought to you by State Farm, your local agent, Jeff Knoll. For all of your insurance needs, visit Jeff Knoll at State Farm. Well, that was a tough sequence. What should have been a failed 3rd down conversion by Mountain View is parlayed into a defensive pass interference call, tacked onto a nice catch tacked on with a unsportsmanlike penalty. And then the touchdown catch right there by Isaiah Lovett. And Mountain View now up 13 with 2:49 on the clock in the third quarter. Now Cienega next Friday will be traveling to Saguaro High School. We don't have the capability of bringing you a live stream from their campus. So we'll be back in 2 weeks when Cienega returns home. It's homecoming. It's also senior night. So the last home game of their season on Friday, October the 9th, and they'll be taking on the Sunnyside Blue Devils. Tonight's game is brought to you by Montgomery's Grill. Open after the game. Montgomery's Grill located in downtown Vail. Swim Associates, Noonan Physical Therapy, Jostens of Southern Arizona, Joe and Jan Grossi, Dream, Believe, Achieve. Cienega High School is C2G, committed to graduation. Pancho Bernal, Jeff Daniels with Nova Financial, Rich Hellman with Nova Home Loans, Hamster Heating and Cooling, United Community Health Center, Renell Cox from Tierra Antigua Realty, Brandon Lopez, the great running back from Cienega with CrossFit Lanista, the Hopman Group, Chapman Honda, Aaron Wilson with the Keller Williams Real Estate Team, Momentum Physical Therapy, Dr. Donnelly with the Vail Family Dentistry, located in downtown Vail, Libra Orthodontics, Walker Family Medicine, Dr. Tyan Dean with the Sports Institute of Tucson, Pizza Hut, Aris Family Dental, Agero, your touchdown sponsor, Jeff Knoll, your State Farm agent, and Pyramid Federal Credit Union, the Red Zone sponsor of Cienega High School football. Well, the Cats now, 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. 2:49 on the clock, down 29-16 on a breezy, beautiful, perfect night for football. Nearly a full moon up in the sky. Ty Hammond's looking for Tristan Jury, makes the catch. What a great catch by Tristan at the 35. A gain of 40 on the play. So Tristan timing his outstretched arms, making a beautiful catch near side on the near side hash. And Tyler showing that he can also play some passing action here with the timing pattern, but a great catch by Tristan Jury. And if the Cats could score and put 6 on the board here in quick fashion, they would be right back in the game. Will Walker handoff up the middle, gain of 1. Tackle made by number 70. That's Kai Golden, the sophomore defensive tackle, 6'1", 270. And you might not be able to see it on your televisions, but the uniforms of Mountain View here are just gorgeous. They've got the red, white, and blue on the numbers, the stars and stripes. So the American flag emblazoned on their unis, and the socks you see right there, the red, white, and blue stripes and stars of Mountain View. And I think they are the envy of everyone that sees their uniforms. They are just beautiful. All right, we've got a timeout here on the field. And the timeout is taken by Cienega. So that's their first timeout of the second half. And you wonder what prompted that one. So looking at a second down and 8 yards to go, hopefully it's not one of those timeouts that will come back to haunt the team if they're desperate and looking for some clock conservation late in the game. Speaking of conservation, I want to thank Cienega High School's green team for all the recycling that they do on campus. There are receptacles located throughout the campus. Every classroom has a recycling bin, and we always encourage the students to recycle recyclables, throw away trash, and keep things neat and clean. Also, TSW, Cienega High School's transition from school to work, they have students that are special needs, and they do a terrific job of keeping our campus beautiful and clean. Cienega High School is C2G, committed to graduate. We're also committed to recycling on the campus. Josh Farr and Scott Burnham and the green team doing their best to promote conservation, reuse, and recycling. Handoff goes near side. Nico Jordan. And Nico picks up 4. He's got 2 touchdowns rushing on the night. 3rd down and 3. Well, this is definitely 4-down territory for the Bobcats. Tristan Jury in the slot, handoff to Walker right side, and he barrels his way for 3 yards. And he should have a 1st down. And yes, indeed, he's got one. There's a Bobcat here that's kind of like slow getting up. That's Antonio Moreno, the center, and he looks like he's just going to shake that one off. Dylan Hess, number 75, at left tackle. Number 72, Eddie Bensig, the senior, at left guard. So Bensing, 72 at left guard, Hess, 75 at left tackle. Antonio Moreno, 66 at center. Tristan Jury, number 3, goes in motion, stops and comes back this way. Handoff to Nico Jordan. Nice block there on the left side by Will Walker. And it springs Jordan for a gain of 4. Make it 5. And the Cats now looking at a 2nd and 5. Aaron Sauls at tailback, gets the handoff to the right side, and he puts his arm on one of his blockers and takes that one for 5 yards and a 1st down. So the Chains move forward here. The Cats should have a 1st and goal from the 9, as that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. After 3, it's Mountain View 29, Cienega 16. You're watching exclusive coverage of Bobcat football on Bobcat TV. Scoring summary from tonight's game: it was Mountain View striking first. Their quarterback, Justice Somerset, on a 3-yard touchdown run. Then it was a 2-point conversion pass. Caleb McRae finding Diego Sparkman for a 2-point conversion as Mountain View opened up 8-0. Then it was Somerset on the pass connection to Stan Berryhill Jr. from 42 yards out. Andrew Blaisdell with the extra point, making it 15-0 Mountain View. Cienega's first touchdown was scored by Nico Jordan on a 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point converted by Jacob Meeker Hackett, making it 15-7. Then it was Meeker Hackett on a 30-yard field goal, drawing the deficit to 15-10. Mountain View's Bryce Coleman, 15 yards on the touchdown run. Extra point converted by Andrew Blaisdell made it 22-10. Cienega's Nico Jordan scored his 2nd touchdown, this one on a 9-yard run to the right side, and showed off his speed and a nice set of blocking downfield, making it 22-16. The 2-point conversion failed. Mountain View's Isaiah Lovett made a great catch on a fade route to the far side, 18 yards on the reception from Justice Somerset, and Andrew Blaisdell converted the extra point, making it, the score is now 29-16. Tristan Jury goes in motion far side. They're calling it 3rd and inches. Handoff Walker to the right side, and Will Walker goes down at about the 2, so a 1st down, bringing up a set of fresh downs here. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. And 11:50 on the clock. Walker right side, following those blockers into the end zone for a touchdown. Will Walker, 3 yards on the score. So down 7 here. And the Cats are going to kick the extra point and try to bridge that gap down to 6. Nico Abeda on the hold. Jacob Meeker Hackett on the kick. And like that, it is 29-23 Touchdown is brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, go to agero.com. The extra point brought to you by your local friendly State Farm agent, Jeff Knoll. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 29-23. Cats now climbing back into it. It's been a cat fight. Let's call it like it is. Mountain Lions and Bobcats out here in the desert in Vail on a Friday night. And it's been a back and forth affair. Mountain View looked like they might be running away with it early with a 15-0 lead. And the Cats have refused to wilt here under the lights on Friday night. So the Bobcats will need a defensive stop, certainly. And you would figure the time to do it would be on this possession. Squib kick. Touch there at the 35. Picked up at the 30. And down at the 35-yard line was Sebastian Spencer, the junior special teamer and slot receiver. Mountain View has 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Well, I know I've talked about him enough tonight. Justice Somerset coming in here, the senior quarterback, who now has 14 passing touchdowns against only 2 interceptions, and a sterling rating at the quarterback position of 126.2. He's accounted for 3 touchdowns here tonight, 2 passing, 1 on his own legs on the ground. And he is just going to whip it up there on the far side. Nice coverage back there by Dakota Poe, who is locked into mano-a-mano coverage with Isaiah Lovett. 2nd and 10. So you've got Lovett on one side at 6'4". You've got Deshaun Flanagan Fowles on the other side at 6'4". A pair of tall bookends, as it were. More like bookcases at that height. Somerset brought down at the line of scrimmage by Mason Craig. So the senior defensive end with those long arms getting Somerset in his grasp. And now it's a 3rd down and 11. So what Mountain View has done so far tonight is basically just played some jump balls to the outside to their tall targets. And we'll see if they do it again. Flanagan Fowles on one side, Lovett on the other. And in the pistol, it's Justice Somerset. 3 steps, rolls to his left, screen pass to Bryce Coleman. Oh, a big pop there. And he's short of the 1st down. Boy, that was a hit. And I missed the player that dished that one out. But it was Coleman who was trying to pick up the 1st down, and he's coming up limping. And he can't make it. So Bryce Coleman, who has played a beautiful game here tonight, the low center of gravity running back, the senior number 2, their leading rusher on the season, who has a touchdown here tonight. He took a pop on that swing pass as he was approaching the 1st down marker. He had a 15-yard touchdown run earlier tonight, and then it looks like he was an injury here, holding the right hamstring, trying to hop his way off the field, and he gave it a gallant effort, but he couldn't make it across, and he just collapsed. So the training staff out there from Mountain View, could be a cramp, could be a hamstring issue, could be a calf strain. I'm speculating. I don't know what else I can say here at this point. Probably a cramp, so he's being helped up by the medical staff, and he's not putting any weight on that right leg. So the fans here giving him a nice round of applause. He's played beautifully tonight, has Coleman, and hopefully he can get some treatment and come back out here. 10:04. They need him in the backfield because he is their featured tailback in that attack. So we will try to keep you posted with what we're seeing here from across the way. So punter is on the field. It's Josh Thornvold. And boy, that's close to hitting Nico Jordan, who was just drifting back there in punt coverage. And the ball's downed at the 23-yard line. And it's downed by number 17, Stephen Villa. So the Cats now did what they needed to do. They had the defensive stand that they wanted so desperately. They've gotten it. Now they've got the ball back. 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. 9:53 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Down by 6. So a touchdown and conversion would give them the lead, something they have not had the entire night. Bobcats running the ball very effectively. You can see the Mountain Lion defense now. They're stacking the box here with 8 players. Handoff goes up the middle, and a loss of 2. I think at some point, Tyler Hammonds is going to have to prove he can throw the ball down the field. And if the Cats have the right play call, they might be able to click on something here. Maybe a play action, maybe some sort of misdirection play where you're faking one way and then throwing back the other side of the field. But they might be able to exploit something here through the passing game. 2nd and 11. Caleb Bost is lined up near side along us, along with Brandon Vesterdahl, who goes in motion to the far side. And then he puts on the brakes and comes back this way. The throw is to Bost here near side. Oh, he had it. It was in his grasp. Hit him right on the numbers. It would have been a gain of 18. It was nice coverage there from Mountain View's number 23, Gibara Menabi, the sophomore defensive back. He was right there, but Caleb had that ball dropped on his numbers, like right at the top of his chest, and he was unable to corral it. Now, a tough play because he's looking over the shoulder, but Tyler Hammonds delivered that pass perfectly. And it's funny, I was just talking about the passing game. They'll need to make a couple of plays here downfield, and that was the perfect call at that moment. Tristan Jury comes in motion and heads back to the far side. A little play action fake. Down the middle. Oh, in traffic. And in coverage, it was Skylar Lee, the senior defensive back. Mason Craig was the intended target who had the ball in and out of his hands. But that was terrific coverage by Skylar Lee, the senior defensive back from Mountain View. Now the Cats will go 3 and out, and they'll have to punt the ball down the field. The good news from Cienega's perspective is they didn't waste much time on the clock with a running play and 2 incompletes on the passing plays. So 9:02 on the clock. There's a flurry of activity to the south end zone on Marianne Cleveland Way. We have a fire truck, an ambulance, and a police car. Hopefully nothing serious happening over there. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the field. So a busy night. I told you earlier that Dan Brown, Lieutenant Dan Brown, who runs the Law and Public Safety program, also runs the Merchandising Enterprising class, the t-shirt business, silk screening on campus. He took a pop earlier when a Mountain View player was run out of bounds and there was a collision, and he was slow to get up, and he seems to be fine on the bench of Cienega. Maybe some bruising, hopefully nothing more serious than that. And now we have some police, fire, and emergency activity happening on the south end zone right off of Marianne Cleveland Way. All right, the Cats now. Jacob Meeker-Hackett punting. He's standing at his own 10-yard line. With the wind slightly in his face. Oh, it takes a great bounce here for the Cats. A beautiful roll. Oh, my goodness. That's exactly what they needed. So we'll call it a 57-yard punt by Jacob Meeker-Hackett, and he got the exact bounce that he wanted to. So 57 on the punt. Now Mountain View at their own 24-yard line. And what a great job that Luke Hawley does. Or Brett Hawley. Luke was his son, who was a punter of acclaim in his own right. And Brett Hawley, the special teams coach here at Cienega, with the kicking game, the punting game, there have been a string of just great special teamers. And Brett Hawley is certainly due for a lot of credit in that category. but a fortuitous bounce for Jacob Meeker-Hackett. And we've got a cat here coming up now. And that is Mason Craig, who is hobbling, and he's calling for some help here. So Mason is stuck on the field at the left end. If Somerset notices that, he might be able to exploit it by rolling to his right. 2nd down and 8. Pass complete. A big gain and more. And it's Stan Berryhill Jr. who is going to take this one to the house. So 74 yards on the touchdown reception. It was Stan Berryhill Jr. on a post pattern to the center of the field. He used the stiff arm to break free from one tackler, a would-be tackler, and he took it to the house, just shifting gears. He's got a 5th gear, came near side and took it, and there was nobody on the field that was going to catch him. So 74 yards on the touchdown catch. Stan the man, Stan Berryhill Jr., 74 yards on the catch. Catch and run. And a 2-point conversion intended for Berryhill Jr. is incomplete. Somerset doing the high steps there on the far sideline as Mountain View again extends the lead to 12 points. Fans, that touchdown brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, and driven. To find out more, go to the website at Agero, AGERO.com. Well, I'd like to think that Cienega they've got more up their sleeve here. They continue to come back. Mountain View continues to put points on the board. We talked about their offense averaging nearly 50 points a game. They've got 35 on the board tonight. The Cats have 8 minutes on the clock and a timeout. So they'll have to make some points happen here pretty quickly. When you look at Cienega's season to this point, it's been uneven. That's a kind way of saying it. At Basha, losing 42-23. A tough loss to Foothills here, which was a winnable game, although Foothills is having a great season under Jeff Skurin, the Silver Fox, a great coach. They lost that game 23-17. They got trounced by Marcos Deniza here, 49-6, just outclassed in that game. And then the big win last week at CDO, 31-28. Now here at Mountain View, and the team talked about running the gauntlet here. Their opening schedule to begin the 2015 season as imposing as could be. Hammond's pass, a timing route, and a miscommunication intended for Brandon Vesterdahl. Pass incomplete. Vesterdahl was running the go, and Hammonds was running the out, and they just weren't on the same page. So 2nd and 10, 7:57 on the clock. Bobcats down 35-23. Four wide outs. Hammonds takes 2 steps and throws to the far side. Near side for Brandon Vesterdahl, who appeared to slow down on the route. And the ball was slightly overthrown, just misleading him by a couple of yards. Again, I want to send a special greeting out to Coach Steve Schween's boys in New York, Justice Gallick from the New York Jets, and Ed Jaskolski from SUNY Brockport, the Golden Eagles. They're playing St. John Fisher tomorrow in the Courage Bowl, which is a charity game benefiting cancer research and cancer patients. So if you guys are watching out there on the East Coast, Schween says, what up? False start going against the Cats here makes it 3rd and 20. Now things are beginning to look gloomy, as it were. Bobcats are down 12. 7:52 on the clock, pinned way back in their own end. And the clock now becomes the enemy. I guess Father Time is kind of the enemy to all of us. There's no outrunning it. 3rd and 15. 4 wide outs. Nico Abeda goes in motion to the far side. Hammonds back to throw, and he overthrows his target, Tristan Jury, by a good 5 yards. Either too much of a bullet, not enough loft, or just a little bit early on the release there on the trigger by Hammonds. But the pass falls incomplete, and the Cats will have to punt here on 4th down and 15 from their own 15-yard line. Meeker Hackett, a nice punt. Berryhill fumbles. The ball's recovered by Cienega. Oh, just like that. That is a gift if there ever was one. And it's George Torres. George, the senior, number 13, at the right place at exactly the right time. So for all that Stan Berryhill has done tonight that's been electrifying, he's done one more thing electrifying tonight, just in the deficit side for his team. He must have taken his eyes off the ball. It hit him squarely in the numbers, and he didn't put up the fair catch signal, which you would typically expect from a punt returner. There's no need to try to return that, and George Torres right there to pounce on it. The Cats with new life. Will Walker, the handoff to the right side. Now he's down. The ball pops out, but the linesman saying that he was down by contact. So 8 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 2. Well, there were 2 gifts given to Cienega from Mountain View tonight. One was a 4th down conversion attempt that failed from their own 40-yard line. And then now we had the fumble on the punt return. The Bobcats have 2 fumbles that they've given away to Mountain View tonight on their own. False start going against the Cats, so it makes it a 2nd down and 7. Well, I've got to talk about Bam McRae. He's the head coach from Mountain View. The Mountain Lions here, I guess debuting in 2015, their red, white, and blue uniforms. But Bam McRae and Mountain View have been a thorn in Cienega's side in the last 3 or 4 years. Doing a great job with that program, bringing it back to life. Cats on the handoff. It's Sauls to the near side, tackled by Ricky Marsegan, the senior defensive back. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 8. So this is critical action for the Cats. This is certainly 4-down territory. They've got 2 cracks at it, and they're going to have to throw the football. Slight breeze going from, on your screen, upper left corner to front right corner. Probably about a 10-mile-per-hour breeze. Hammond's the shotgun. Patiently throws to the near side, and the ball was overthrown. Intended target was Tristan Jury. Tristan coming in at 5'9". If he were 6'2", he would have a chance at making that catch. Just a little too high. And certainly the pressure here, you know, these kids are feeling it. All this weight on Tyler Hammond's shoulders for the junior quarterback, number 12. 4th down, 8 to go. The Cats need a 1st down. 6:07 on the clock. Cats down 12. Caleb Boss comes in motion near side. And the Cats, they have to burn their final timeout. And Coach Nugent is disgusted. He throws his headset down. He didn't slam it, but he just kind of dropped the headset. It's expensive equipment. You know, those headsets are expensive. But frustrated at his team for not being able to get the play called off before the 25-second clock expired. So they have to burn their final timeout, right? And you had to do it because instead of looking at a 4th and 8, you would look at a 4th and 13, and the odds of converting that would drop precipitously. So 4th and 8. Nugent rounding the troops here around him as they draw up a play here on offense to get them the 8 yards they need to move the chains forward and keep their flickering hopes at winning this ball game alive tonight. Tonight's game brought to you by the Sports Institute of Tucson, Dr. Tyan Dean, keeping your Bobcats healthy since 2003. Well, here it is, 4th and 8, a tight formation. Tristan goes in motion to the far side. Tyler throws near side, the pass is complete, and it's enough for a first down. So we found Mason Craig, the tall wideout, 6'4", 211, the senior. He found him for 10 and moved those chains. It was a quick out pattern. And a nice pass delivered by Tyler Hammonds and a good catch by Mason Craig to keep this game alive for the Cats. 1st and 10 from the Mountain View 30. Handoff goes to Nico Jordan. Great job holding on to that football. Every Mountain View player is trying to pick his pocket and pull that pigskin out. So 8 on the run. The only problem with running the football is that the clock goes tick-tock, tick-tock. 5:40 and counting here. 2nd down and 2. Bobcats love to run the football, but they're playing it really tight. Nico Jordan up the right side, and he'll pick up 7 and a first. Now, the one thing you can say is that the clock stops with every first down. So every time the chains move forward, the clock stops momentarily as the chains are set and replaced, and then the clock winds again. So it's not as debilitating of a clock killer as you would see in the college or the professional game, but you're still burning seconds nonetheless. This time about 17 seconds off the clock just to get the playoff. Pass goes near side, and the ball is caught, but unfortunately caught in bounds. So more time here being burned away. Mason Craig on the catch for a gain of 2. And we're looking at here probably about a 25-second loss of time on the clock by the time the team gets set in their formation and the ball is snapped. 2 wideouts far side. Handoff goes to Walker up the middle. And a trio of tacklers led by Devin Johnson from Mountain View. Tick-tock, tick-tock, 4:15 and counting. 3rd down and 8 for the Cats. And you can see Mountain View here upset at the play clock, which took a long time to get started. Down to 10 seconds on the clock. Hammonds in the shotgun, looking to his right, firing to the corner. Oh, some contact and a flag goes down. So yeah, for sure, pass interference. And it was Mason Craig, the target. They've been looking at him in this right side here. Another out pattern. And the linebacker in coverage blanketing him. I think it was number 15, Charlie Alderson. It's tough to read some of the numbers down there on the field, but I think it was 15, Charlie Alderson on the pass interference. And maybe number 10, Tion Simmons. But pass interference gives the Cats a fresh set and a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line with 3:51. So a touchdown, an extra point here puts them back in contention, but they'll still need some luck. And a fumble, and boy, Hammonds had a tough time corralling that football. He just reached out with his right hand and drew it into his body, but that ball was kind of like a fish flopping out of water on the side of a deck on a boat, just there waiting for anybody to pluck it, and Tyler corralled it in there. So now It's going to be 4th down, so I'm mistaken. I apologize for saying that the Cats had a fresh set of downs on that pass interference. So now it's 4th down and 7. And everything here. And you wonder if he'll be targeting Mason Craig again. The big target on the outside, locked up in man-to-man coverage with an undersized cornerback. Hammonds back to throw. Rolls to his right, throws to the corner. Touchdown, Cats, Mason Craig. So 12 yards on the catch by Mason. Why not? It's the combination that's worked and worked, and it paid off there for a 12-yard touchdown. Mason Craig, the senior, on a 12-yard reception from Tyler Hammonds. Jacob Meeker-Hackett for the extra point. And the kick is good. So the deficit is now 5 points with 3:02 on the clock. Well, I've got to say this. If anything tonight, these Bobcats have proven that they are game. They are not going away. They've risen to the challenge time after time in this game tonight. And frankly, I think that they're outclassed a little bit in terms of talent, especially when you look at the playmakers that Mountain View has on the offensive side of the ball. Their quarterback, Justice Somerset, an established senior with great athleticism. They've got the big targets that have been terrific all night in Stan Berryhill and Isaiah Lovett, Bryce Coleman, and Deshaun Flanagan-Fowles. I think there's more talent offensively, at least, on their side of the field. But the Bobcats have refused to go away tonight. They have continued to rise and meet the challenge head on, and they have not gone away. So they'll need a little bit of something to happen here with 3:02 on the clock. Mountain View has 2 timeouts left. They're up 5 points. And I think we're going to look at an onside kick attempt here. So Jacob Meeker-Hackett, the great kicker for the Cats, is looking at his own 40, and it looks like he's going to go to the near side. Oh, nice hands. Oh, and this is going to be broken back here. Mountain View number 12, Tommy Lawrence, on the recovery, and a 45-yard touchdown as he sprints to the corner of the end zone and into the track. 45 yards. It was as if he were launched out of a cannon. Tommy Lawrence, 45 yards on the kickoff return. An onside kick that he picked up on a bounce cleanly and ran it back to the house. Well, we've seen everything here tonight. And that's the proverbial straw breaking the camel's back. There's just not enough time on the clock. The Cats would need a miracle at this point. Well, we talked about points and how prolific of an offense that this Mountain View team is, and here they are now putting 42 on the board with still 2 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. Tommy Lawrence. That touchdown is brought to you by Agero. Safe, smart, driven. To find out more, go to agero.com. Well, just when you think that the Cats are back in, and they were in, but right on the kickoff, and you have to go for the onside kick, so there's no questioning why would they do that. You have to. You got to go for the onside kick with that little time on the clock. It just happened that the ball didn't bounce the way that Jacob meant or intended it to do, and it was as fortuitous a bounce from Mountain View as you could ask for, going right into the hands of Tommy Lawrence, the speedster. 6'2", 195 is the senior, and he caught that ball on a sprint, and he was off. Like a rocket going through the night sky, 42 yards on the touchdown on the kickoff return. Well, I'm not going to say that Cienega is going to go away because they haven't. And why would they start now? Even down 12 points with 2:56 on the clock. Miracles happen all the time. So they're going to need one tonight to pull this one out. To do it, they'll have to score quickly, right? So you've got to score quickly, and then again, try an onside kick or do something miraculous. But all the tricks should be out on the book right now. Anything that the Cats have up their sleeves collectively on the offensive side, they should pull all the stops out and just go for it and do something crazy, right? So they're going to throw the ball, certainly. We may see all kinds of laterals in play, hook and ladders, reverses, all that kind of stuff. Hammond's back to throw. He's got a man in the seam. Oh, it was nearly picked. And there's Tommy Lawrence on defense, who almost had the interception. Tristan Jury was ready to catch that football, and he had to come back a little bit and play defense. So pass slightly underthrown. 2nd down and 10. 2:52 on the clock. Again, we want to tell you that we won't be live next Friday. Next Friday's game is at Saguaro. Hostile territory as you could hope for the Cats. Or dread, I suppose, looking at that perspective. Hammond's down the middle. Ball is slightly underthrown again, and that was tipped. The intended target was Wyatt Dansby, the speedy running back coming out of the backfield. And in coverage, it was Caleb McCray, the Frosh, freshman cornerback, out there in coverage. 3rd and 10. So next Friday, Saguaro. The following Friday, the Cats return home on October the 9th to take on the Blue Devils of Sunnyside High School. And the Blue Devils are back. They are back on the map as a formidable opponent in Southern Arizona football. A trio of wideouts near side. A single man is flanked to the far side. And we have a late guy coming onto the field here. That's Nico Jordan in the formation. Near side, nice catch. And a 1st down it should be for Braben Bolton on the catch. And the yard markers do move forward. He just planted his feet inside the 1st down marker before skipping out of bounds. So 2:43 on the clock. 1st and 10 Cats from their own 30. And they will need a miracle here tonight to pull this one out. Ball intercepted. Could be a pick 6 here. Fowler falls into the end zone for an interception return for a touchdown. The pick 6, Deshaun Flanagan fouls. 30, we'll call it 30 yards on the interception return. And that one does seal the deal. Deshaun Flanagan fouls. .35 yards on the touchdown interception. The pick 6. And a flag down. The touchdown's good. We have dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike going against Mountain View. Probably like a taunting or some sort of unsportsmanlike verbal communication from Mountain View. That's a speculation. I didn't see it happening as it was happening. But there's Deshaun Flanagan, fouls. Number 5 on the pick 6 interception. And we have a timeout here taken by Mountain View. So 2:33 on the clock. 18 points up on top, 48-30. Tonight's game is brought to you by Jostens. Dream, believe, achieve. They take great care in passionately helping people to express themselves, to celebrate experiences, to honor traditions, to recognize achievements, and to share their stories. They are honored to be Cienega's school official source for graduation caps and gowns, class rings and championship rings, diplomas, academic and athletic recognition, letterman's jackets, and yearbooks. If you need anything in any of those departments, you can contact Joe and Jan Grossi from Jostens of Southern Arizona. Go to jostens.com or joe.grossi, Grossi, at jostens.com. Family, local, veteran-owned business, the most trusted partner in celebrating moments that matter. Champions are known by the rings that they wear. Choose Jostens, the official ring provider for the Arizona Interscholastic Association. Andrew Blaisdell on the extra point. It's a fake here, which is kind of confusing. Not sure why they would go for a 2-point conversion unless it was just a botched hold, but I don't think that was the case. Blaisdell was perfect tonight on extra points. He's got the turquoise shoes going for him. And now another flag here. Might be, well, we'll wait and see what it is. I don't want to speculate on it. So we have a late flag. Could be some taunting, could be some heckling going on. You have Will Walker there as the captain on that defense in the center of a hostile group of visitors, all in white uniform. So we have a personal foul, rushing the pass, or unsportsmanlike foul, roughing the passer against Cienega. You have a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against Mountain View, probably taunting, heckling. And now we have a replay of this down. And now this will be basically a field goal attempt from 34 yards out for Andrew Blaisdell, and he's got this kind of range. And then some. So the extra point is good from 35 yards out by Blaisdell, who was, again, connecting from 45, nearly 50 yards out before the game. Well, you wonder now, as Mountain View will improve to 4-1 on the season with a win here tonight, and they've had a great year, beating La Jolla 51-6, Scottsdale Horizon 40-37. They lost to Sunnyside, the one blemish on the record at Sunnyside, a very hostile field to go play at. They came back last week in spectacular fashion, routing Buena 69-7. And now an impressive road win here at Cienega, 49-30 as it stands right now, although the scoring might not be finished. Conversely, the Bobcats, this is a tough one for them because they needed to win tonight, and I feel like they needed to really win out to have a true chance here at making the playoffs, as Tristan Jury brings a nice return back out across the 45-yard line. And Blaisdell, as part of the tackling, also number 34, Tyler Treblecock, the junior free safety and special teamer. But for Cienega, who will fall to 1-4, when's the last time you could have said that, if ever? So the Cats will fall to 1-4. They'll go to Saguaro to play arch rival Saguaro, the Cougars, who have never beaten Cienega in football. So you know that Saguaro is salivating at the prospects of the game next Friday, and their fans are hostile, and that's like, I'm understating it. I don't want to say venomous, and I don't want to say bloodthirsty because it's not quite at that level, but they are intense and passionate and sometimes aggressively passionate about how they feel about football at Saguaro. A lot of good people there, but a lot of fans that are, I don't know, malicious and maybe a little bit out for blood. So next week will be a tough one, and Saguaro has a perfect opportunity to really get some revenge against Cienega. The Cats have Sunnyside at home on October the 9th, Tucson High on the road, Buena, and then at Sow Point. So the lineup that they're looking at here at the rest of their schedule is daunting, to say the least. And out of all of those games, only Buena looms as an absolute gimme cream puff game. Saguaro is tough. Sunnyside is really difficult. Tucson High is legitimate again. And Sow Point. So you have 4 games there out of the last 5 that are going to be extremely formidable challenges for this Bobcat team. So a really tough year and a tough way to open things up here for Coach Nugent at Cienega High School. And he's been successful everywhere he's gone. CDO, Pima, here as an assistant. I'm not sure where he began his coaching career, but he's been successful everywhere. So it's a difficult adjustment for him to make, and it's not because he can't coach, because he can. You have to think about it in context, right? There are some deficiencies on this roster. You have three major significant injuries. The starting left tackle, Parker Gallipo, has a concussion. He's out. You have the quarterback, who would have been vying for reps in Walker Forgetti, who's out with a hamstring. You have Wyatt Dansby, who could be a starting tailback, who was out with a sports hernia. And you have a starting linebacker in Gabe Flynn, who's out with mononucleosis. So you've got four starters at key positions that are immediately off the roster, right? So factor that in first. Then there's not a true home run threat breakaway running back. They just don't have that in the roster, right? And there's nothing against the kids that are playing, because those kids are giving 100%. They're doing a great job. They just don't have the blazing speed that you would need at that position. So you factor these things in, and I would tell the fans, either watching or attending the game here live, to get some context and have some perspective and realize that the kids are doing the best they can, and the coaching staff certainly is doing the best that they can do as well. It's just one of those down seasons where the talent in the stables is not at the level that you would hope and wish that it would be. And then the other thing I could say is that the linemen from Cienega are always undersized compared to other programs. And I don't know why that is, but there's always a bit of a disadvantage in terms of size on the line. There's always one person that's a big sized lineman, and other teams have 3 or 4 of those kids typically. So the Cats here, a great effort, right? And I'm not criticizing Cienega. That's not my intention at all, because they really brought it here tonight, and you have to give them all the credit in the world for giving 100% effort and coming back and falling back and coming back and falling back and coming back. They've dealt with a deficit here all night. They always bridge the gap. The closest that they had it was 5 points, and that was twice. And then Mountain View just ran off successive touchdowns to spread the difference and extend their lead. So 49-30, it will be the final score here tonight, assuming that Mountain View kneels on the football twice. I'll give you a quick summary here for the scoring, and we will wrap this broadcast up. Again, next Friday at Saguaro, we will not be on the air, but the following Friday on October the 9th, we invite you to join our broadcast as we bring you Cienega Bobcat football. And I think Alec White will be back from vacation, but I don't know. So I'm filling in tonight for my students who are doing different things tonight. We've got some personal difficulties. Alyssa Lubin's friend, mother, gravely ill, so she's attending to that. And then we have a student who's on holiday with family, and then other kids that have different commitments. So we will be back in 2 weeks to bring you Bobcat football here on Bobcat TV. Quick scoring summary from tonight. It was Justice Somerset, the sublime quarterback from Mountain View, on a 3-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion from Caleb McRae to Diego Sparkman. Then it was Somerset on a 42-yard touchdown connection with Stan Berryhill Jr., the extra point by Andrew Blaisdell. Then it was Cienega getting on the board for the first time. Nico Jordan, a 1-yard touchdown run. Extra point converted by Jacob Meeker-Hackett, making it 15-7. Jacob Meeker-Hackett, a 30-yard field goal, making it 15-10. Bryce Coleman, a 15-yard touchdown run. The extra point converted by Andrew Blaisdell made it 22-10. Nico Jordan, his second touchdown run, this one from 9 yards out. The 2-point conversion failed, making it 22-16. Isaiah Lovett, an 18-yard touchdown catch, which was a great thing to behold. Andrew Blaisdell, extra point, 29-16, Mountain Lions. Will Walker punched in a 3-yard touchdown run. Meeker-Hackett's extra point made it 29-23. And then it was Stan Berryhill on a 74-yard touchdown catch from Justice Somerset, making it 35-23. Tyler Hammonds, a 12-yard strike to Mason Craig. The extra point by Jacob Meeker-Hackett, 35-30. Again, the Cats would come no closer than 5 points down. Tommy Lawrence on an onside kick recovery took it back to the house on a 40-yard return, making it 42-30. Again, Blaisdell made all of his extra points tonight. And then Deshaun Flanagan fouls a 35-yard pick-6 interception return for a touchdown, making your final score here 49-30. Quick thank you to the sponsors. And we'll wrap this up Aris Family Dental, Pizza Hut, Dr. Tyan Dean with the Sports Institute of Tucson, Walker Family Medicine, Lieber Orthodontics, Vale Family Dentistry, Momentum Physical Therapy, Keller Williams Real Estate, Aaron Wilson, your local agent there, Chapman Honda, the Hopman Group, Brendan Lopez with CrossFit Lanista, Renell Cox from Tierra Antigua Realty, United Community Health Center, Homstreet Heating and Cooling, Nova Home Loans, Rich Hillman at Nova Home Loans, Nova Financial, Jeff Daniels, Poncho Bernal, Jostens of Southern Arizona, C2G, Dream, Believe, Achieve, Noonan Physical Therapy, Noonan, Swaim Associates, Montgomery's Grill open after the game, Agero, your touchdown sponsor, Safe, Smart, and Driven. To find out more, visit agero.com. Jeff Knoll, your local friendly State Farm agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Pyramid Federal Credit Union, the Red Zone sponsor. Jillian Summers was on the camera tonight, and we appreciate all of her hard work every week out here with Bobcat TV. Josh Kramer is our director here tonight, the man with the plan, the architect of the program. I'm Jason Miller. Alec White should be back calling play-by-play for the Bobcats on October the 9th. We invite you to join us on that broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed our exclusive coverage of Bobcat football on Bobcat TV. Have a safe break. Have a great break. We'll see you here in 2 weeks. Good night, everybody.